Hello and welcome to Artist Talks. My name is Sara Idani and I am an artist, a songwriter and a producer from Sweden. And in this segment I'm going to talk to people who are artists in different forms of culture, music and poetry that I really like and admire. And today I'm joined by a person that I really admire. She's a great role model and I really appreciate what she does in her music. And her name is Hanna Ögren, and she is a vocalist and a songwriter and a budding producer, if I'm not mistaken. And she started out in bands like South Orange, and now she has reinvented herself as a solo artist and makes purple electro soul music in the spirit of Prince. Welcome, Hanna.
Thank you. And thank you for those kind words.
Yeah, well, you're worth every single one of them.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good today. Today is I'm here, so I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about how you started out in music. We mentioned South Orange earlier, but I'm a little curious about how you got into music from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you could say, like most people, I think, that I've been singing for my whole life, since I was a kid, but I've never taken it seriously. I didn't think I could sing. I was told in school I couldn't join the choir and things like that.
Wow.
Because I was shy, and it's a lot about the people that can take the space,
Yeah.
the popular kids,
Yeah.
they get into the choirs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
They get to sing at the final day at school.
Exactly. And I was like, I've always been in the behind the scenes kind of stuff, not doing stuff, just watching.
Yeah.
It took me a long time. At least it felt like that, and it's always felt like I was too late to start. Like when I was 16, I thought, no, it's too late now. I can't start with music because you have to have, gone through the stages, like being popular and for some reason I just thought it was too late.
Yeah, that's I can really relate to that, because that's something I have felt as well and still feel, and I think it's generally how the music business works, that there is this norm that you're supposed to break through when you're really young and
exactly. And I mean, if I knew what I know today back then, I wouldn't worry too much. So when I was 27, I got into a course at a folkhögskola. And that was a singing and music course that kind of changed my life for the better.
Yeah.
And but then after that I just thought, no, still had that feeling like, how am I gonna I wasn't writing music, I wasn't I had my voice and that was it, and I thought I can't get anywhere with this. And then it took me, I didn't sing for 10 years.
Wow.
And then, so it took me a while to realize that, I'm going to do this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was it something in particular that made you realize that this is what you want to do?
It basically, it was one summer back in 2012, I think. So that's 8 years ago now. I just had this overwhelming feeling that something was missing, missing in my life, basically. So I just, I was thinking a lot about it, and I realized I have to sing. I have to start, somewhere. And so that's when I basically just decided I have to do this.
It's incredible to hear the emotional journey that you have been through. I mean, I've heard you sing many times, and I think you're a great singer, and
thank you.
has so much emotion when you sing. So it's a little shocking to hear that you didn't sing for 10 years and that you have had all these self-doubt. So where do you think that come from? Was it from the society, or was it from you?
From within. I think it was a combination, but and I think the two kind of go together.
True.
What the society tells us becomes something that you think comes from within yourself. So, but eventually, I think that what comes from inside always wins. In the end.
Yeah.
And I mean, or it doesn't always maybe get you to, how do I put this? If you feel something that this is what you have to do, it's gonna take over, and that's gonna come out in some way. Or another, and hopefully you can like steer it into the right direction of what you want to do. You know, the feelings are going to be there regardless. So but I would say that it's what society tells us. That, I mean, at the time, I'll be 44 next week, and
congratulations.
So, thank you. And so 8 years ago, I have to think, what was I? 36. Yeah. So at 36, I decided that, okay, this is what I want to do. I have to sing. Like my body was just telling me I have to sing, and I have to sing in front of other people. That was one of the, you know, and society doesn't tell you to start a music career when you're 36. No. And a woman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And that's why I'm so happy to hear about your story and the way that you just go on and kind of doesn't care about what society thinks. And I think we need more people like you. Like, I wish we could just break these norms that tells us how and when we should do, how we should live our lives, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's amazing to hear. So, and now you're a freelance musician. Yeah. Kind of.
It's yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. Or do you, I mean, most freelance musicians also maybe have a job on the side. And like I do as well, part-time. Yeah. But I'm, you know, trying to do my best to combine the two, basically. Yeah. And you do, and much of your work takes place online, right?
Yeah, that's right. It just became that way, actually, because a lot of people that listen to me and kind of like what I do don't live in Sweden or Umeå, or they live in other parts of the world, and so that's why the online community is just great for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm just recently starting to discover all the possibilities of the online community. But I'm guessing you must have had, I mean, in these times that we're living in with the COVID-19 preventing basically every kind of live performance, it has become more important than ever with an online presence. So I think you must have had a great advantage when all this started happening.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know if it's an advantage in. I mean, everybody. To me, it's like everybody can do it. You know, it's a lot of artists have gone into that they've made the switch, and a lot of them started straight away to do like online shows, and I mean, you've done it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, to have an online presence or to like communicate with it's difficult for me to say audience, and because it's more like it's a community, because my community is like a community within a larger community. So just to be able to communicate within that community has been great. And maybe that's an advantage. Yeah.
And I also like the fact that you're saying your community instead of your audience. It resonates with like, if you know Amanda Palmer, she talks about a lot about the difference between being a celebrity and being an artist. That celebrity is about someone loving you from the distance, and artistry is more about having your people who are loving you up front and in a closer way, and that you care about those people, that they are enough.
Exactly. Yeah. And I consider a lot of those people that tell me in our community that they like me and they like my voice and they like hearing me singing and everything. I consider them my friends as well. So that's like it's a win-win. It's a double, win for me, basically. And it's a great feeling, to be honest. Yeah.
Shall we talk about Prince?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah. When did you first come in contact with him?
I would say it was I have this prolific moment when that I can tell you about, but probably I heard Prince at like school dances and stuff. That was my first time, like Purple Rain and when nobody wanted to dance with you and you were like you were standing alone, but the moment that I remember as being the key moment was I was 14 years old and I was staying at my friend's like summer house with my friend and some other friends, and we were like a sleepover with mattresses on the floor and stuff like that. And my friend had a cassette that was her sister's. And so she had borrowed this cassette tape from her sister, and she was like, I have to play you this. And she put on there were some other songs as well, but then Prince and Sign of the Times came on, and I was like, what is this? And from that moment, I just kept diving into his, because that was in 1990. And so he had a catalog, from 1979 or 78, 79. So I just, I had a whole new world to discover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of love at first sight
or
first listening.
It was, definitely, yeah.
Cool. So what was it about that song that inspired you so much? Can you put your finger on it?
It was the rhythm, I would say, and just the beat and the way he sounded, I think, so convincing, I would say. Just, yeah.
Yeah, it spoke to you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Right into my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As all good music do.
Yeah, definitely.
And so how I understand then that this grew to become a very big fandom in your life, and you continued to consume his music, and you went to some of his shows, right?
I did. My first show was in 1993, so 3 years after I discovered him.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was in Globen in Stockholm. That was amazing. And then I saw him 3 times after that. 9 years later, in 2002, then in 2011 at Way Out West, which was like the best. And then in 2013 in Stockholm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so 4 times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you could describe what Prince has meant to you and what your why you love him so much, what would you say? What is it about him that
that is a difficult question. But he speaks to me. That's the only way I can explain it. His music speaks to me, and that was going through my life. I've had his music with me through different phases and stuff. So that's up until when he passed away in 2016. I've always been fascinated though with him as a person as well, and like it's been a bit of I had a few years when I wasn't that. I've always been into him, but I, when it goes up and down, and you're in different phases in your life and stuff like that. But towards the end of his life, I started to like get back into it, and I was like, and maybe that had something to do with where I was in my life and stuff like that. But I was starting to think, I really need to go to Paisley Park, and because he was starting to do back in the 90s, he was doing a lot of like dance parties and stuff. And back then I was thinking, that's not even possible. That's not for me, and I didn't dive into the whole fandom thing. But then, like I said, at the end of his life, he started to do these parties again, and I was thinking, that's like a life goal. On my bucket list, I have to go to a dance party at Paisley Park. Yeah. And obviously, I didn't have time before he passed away. So.
Yeah.
But
do you have like a clear memory of what you were doing and where you were when you got the news?
Most definitely. Yes, I was I was actually just coming out of to get very personal, I was coming out of depression that I've been going through for a few months. And I had just started to like leave home again. So I was at a shopping mall looking for clothes for one of our kids. And I got a text from my husband just saying, have you seen the news? Just that, have you seen the news? And right then and there in that shopping mall, I remember exactly where I was standing and what I was, looking at. I knew. I just, and I just opened up Facebook or whatever, and it said, that he was dead. And so, I went to my car and I cried.
Yeah. I can imagine. I can't imagine what it must be like that. Or, sure, I've had artists that I admire and love that has passed away too soon, but not anyone who has been on the level that you seem to be with Prince. Yeah. So I can't imagine how that must have been like.
It's also a bit like you're not supposed to grieve someone that you didn't know personally, and that was my instinct from the beginning. Like, are you really supposed to? And then I just decided, okay, I can't help what I feel. Yeah. So and it's like it's a relationship, and it's a relationship that ends. Yeah. Even though it's a long distance and it was a one-way relationship, In a way,
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know that I personally was into him, so it was a one-way relationship in that way. That ended for me.
Yeah.
An era ended for me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's also such a strange notion that you're not supposed to grieve for someone you don't know, because, like you said, with music being the bridge as it is, it creates strong bonds.
Yeah,
kind of.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're gonna go over and talk about your music, because I understand that Prince has influenced the way you make your music, your personal music.
Yeah. He has influenced me in different ways. I love his music, so obviously what I do has some kind of reflection of that. I'm not trying to say that I'm anywhere, near his music, but I get it. The influence is there. Yeah. But also in his way of just approaching music and approaching life, as to just the thought that nothing is impossible, kind of, that that you can do it, kind of stuff. So that's how he's inspired me. I would say.
Yeah, that's amazing. I remember also when I've heard stories about how he approached making music, and that he didn't care about how everyone else sounded. He was more interested in developing his own sound. That's so inspirational.
Yeah. Definitely. And the way he recorded music, like with the microphone in the control room, he recorded his vocals like that, and not doing it the way it's supposed to be. I mean, I don't have a full insight into how he recorded, but that's what I've heard and stuff.
Yeah, but that's
so just because the way I write music is I don't play any instrument, so I write my music in my head, and that's not the correct way to do stuff. That's not how you're supposed to write music. That's what I've been telling myself anyway. But he has inspired me to just let go of those thoughts and just why can I not do it? Why is the stuff that's coming out of me, why can't I make that into music, So yeah,
that's amazing. And also I've also heard stories about how he recorded music at that. Sometimes he could even record songs at broken mixing consoles, and he didn't care about getting the fanciest compressors that everyone else were using, because we're not going to sound like them. We're going to sound like us.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah. One of my favorite songs was recorded like that.
Yeah. The Ballad of Dorothy Parker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But what was it that made you decide that you wanted to implement his music and his way of living into your own music? Because it started with a journey, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I decided to actually go to Paisley Park, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah. So back in 2018, I actually did go. I started like a small crowdfunding campaign on Facebook, just for friends and family, who helped me very generously to help me to buy a plane ticket and things that I needed to go to Paisley Park, where they still do. They have a celebration every year when now they've moved it, but it used to be in April, around the day when he passed away. So in 2018 it was in April, so I went there, and I knew that I was going to get a lot of, I was going to experience a lot of new things, and I wanted to document that. So I did. I wasn't allowed to bring a camera with me or a phone or anything like that. So I brought a notebook, and I decided to like put smells and like fabrics and just surfaces and things like that, and what was in a bookshelf, what books were in there, and things that I just saw and experienced into that book, and what people, there were like panel discussions and things like that, and what little things that they mentioned about him and stuff. I put that in my notebook, and I just thought I'm gonna make this into music.
Wow, what an interesting way to collect impressions.
Yeah,
like,
it was because I couldn't bring my phone.
Yeah.
I would have, taken pictures all over the place and documented it in that way. But if I did that, I wouldn't have had the smells and what it felt like. I touched the wall, for example, and how did that feel?
I mean, you can't capture that with a picture.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. And so you went to Paisley Park, and what happened after that? When did you know already then that you wanted to make your artistry about this, or was it something that came later? That kind of grew during. Let me think now, because it for like a year, I think, I started to connect with more and more people from the Prince community or the Purple family. I started to connect with them, and I started to like follow people that I thought were interesting and who were like doing stuff within the Purple community. And I just decided then that, okay, because the crowdfunding project I called Take Me to Paisley, that was like, please, I think it was Pretty Please Take Me to Paisley or something like that. And that just felt so right afterwards, like, Take Me to Paisley. I'm going to call my music project, Take Me to Paisley. So that it kind of grew, and I started writing a little bit, but it took me a long time actually to digest everything that I experienced. I had to just like, I think I didn't open my suitcase for like 2 months. Or something like that. Yeah. and it's kind of silly, but I wanted to keep the smells and stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been when you are experiencing something like that. I can understand that you want to keep it.
Exactly. And it's, you could call it silly or nerdy or whatever, but we're into that.
I call it sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, so it's kind of, I call it, it was marinating, the whole thing was like just being there, waiting for me to get into it.
Yeah.
Where were we? What was the question again?
How it's kind of developed, because then you released a single.
Yeah, that someone I think I know produced. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I did decide to. That was a song that I had done with my previous band, South Orange, and when I decided that I wanted to go into a solo project, that was a song it is a song that means a lot to me. The lyrics were written at a time when Sweden was going through with the immigration and things like that. So it was a song that I really wanted to have produced and recorded and everything. So we did that. And that was that song is I love that song. Yeah, I think it's really it holds the sound that I want, you know. So it's I like it.
Yeah, it's a really good song, and it was amazing to being allowed to produce that along with you and to tap into the Prince sound a little bit.
We tried.
Yeah.
We did good, I think.
We did good.
Yeah. And so, but from there on, I decided that I wanted to connect more with the Purple community and other creatives within that community. So I got connected with a producer and a musician within the community who made a purple version of that song. Yeah, that I released a couple of months after that.
Yeah. What was his name again?
His name is Jeffrey Mack.
Jeffrey Mack.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeffrey Mack.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And was it about this time you started the because you have a Facebook group that you connect with your listeners within. Yeah. Was it about, when did that start? Was it about this time or was it earlier?
No, it was about that time. It's about a year and maybe 3 months ago or something that I started that group. And it's called Take Me to Paisley. Even though I've since then decided to change my artist name, but I've decided to keep the community within the community called Take Me to Paisley. Yeah.
So tell me about your latest projects, because you have an album on the rise, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. It's really, really exciting. This music that I've been working on, I've decided to put into an album.
Wow.
And I've just decided then, since I changed my name, I decided to call the actual album Take Me to Paisley. And there's also a song on the album called Take Me to Paisley.
Wow.
So that's really exciting.
Yeah. Cool. How has the process been looking like so far? Is everything based on what you experienced at Paisley Park?
No, it isn't. It's also stuff that's me. Yeah. It's so it's based on if we talk about the lyrics, it's about just life in general and just being a human being, that kind of stuff. And then also something that, because if I start to sing something, and I sing a lot of a cappella since I don't play any instrument, I tend to go to like folk melodies. That's a singing teacher once told me that most people, when they start singing, if I tell you to improvise something, a melody just off your head, we do tend to go to what's like within us, like what our ancestors have been singing, and it goes back to obviously our parents, and then back, so those kind of melodies that just come into my head and out of my mouth, I've recorded some of it, and I've kind of put some that's where my producing skills come in, where I've decided to like add a few elements and
cool. Because are you producing it? You're producing some of it of your own, or have you gotten any help? Those
melodies I've done myself. But then I've contacted another guy within the community, the Purple family, who's willing to help me out and put this into an album.
Cool.
Yeah, so he's a busy guy. So, but
still amazing that you are able to kind of reach out to the community and get them to help and to
exactly. And that's what I feel like. This is a Purple family thing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, and I'm really, really hoping that even though it's not all gonna be about Paisley Park and Prince and that, it's gonna resonate with a lot of people and become like a tribute to the Purple family, and something that we can kind of not an anthem or anything like that, but like something that we can fall back on together.
Have something that unites.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and that's so cool. And I'm thinking that even if it's not entirely inspired by Paisley, even if everything is not about Paisley Park, I still get the feeling that there is still a lot of Paisley Park and Prince spirit incorporated in it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I think that is such an amazing tribute. You know, they say that when people start to take on other people's art on their own and make their own version, that's the best kind of flattering, the most amazing kind of flattering.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's a good testament to Prince.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But another thing that I think is very interesting and inspiring about your album is that you are going to finance it as through a crowdfunding campaign. Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
I've decided to because I'm, as independent artists, without a label and a record company backing us, we need to kind of, we need the help and the support from our audience or community, so that we can make it a reality.
Yeah.
Because it goes, for independent artists, it goes the opposite way to the those that have a record company, that put the money exactly that put the money into the production and everything.
Yeah.
So this is a way for people who want to hear the music to pre-order it and also get amazing perks with it, like limited edition stuff and things like that.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. It's so exciting. When will you launch the campaign?
The campaign will be launched on August 1st.
Wow.
So depending on when this comes out, it might be in the middle of the campaign or, but August 1st is the launch day, and that's also my birthday. So
cool. Two good things on one day.
Exactly. So, my birthday present is the crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah, what an amazing present that is.
Yeah.
And then the campaign will go on for how long?
30 days. Yeah. So and I have decided to do a fixed amount, which means that if I don't reach the amount that I've set, I won't get anything.
Yeah, okay.
Because I am dependent on it. Because even though we're doing this as a community and it's a Purple Fam thing, I still want to be able to pay the producers and people that I'm working with. And
of course,
I cannot do that without the entire amount.
Yeah.
So because you can also have like a flexible where you take whatever you get, basically, and you do something of that. But I have 30 days to raise the amount. So yeah, that's very exciting. It's it's nerve-wracking, but it's also exciting. Yeah,
I can really understand that. And how did you come to decide that you wanted to do a crowdfunding campaign?
It's different reasons, basically. One is that I was talking about, that we don't have a record label or a record company to fund it, and it's also a way to really connect with the community.
Yeah,
like we're doing this together. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that people will get that feeling that this is something that we can make.
We do it together.
Exactly, and that it becomes a reality together. That we can.
And that's an amazing thing. And one of the things that I find so interesting about crowdfunding, that it is a way for partly the artists to finance their projects and being able to live on our music, but also a chance for fans to feel like we're being a part of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Process.
Co-creators of the album. Yeah, that's what I want to see everybody as.
Yeah,
co-creators.
Yeah.
So it would say on the I've just thought of this now, but I'm gonna put something like created by the Purple Family or something on the album.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Something like that. Yeah.
So can you tell us about some of the perks you get if you finance?
Yeah, sure. I have, well, obviously I have the physical CD, but then I've also designed a T-shirt.
Wow.
That says I bleed purple. So that you can get that as a perk. You can also get original handwritten lyrics.
Wow.
Of Take Me to Paisley.
Cool.
And you can get your own kitchen a cappella dedicated to you. Like you can pick the songs that you want me to sing, and I will do that in your name, kind of. Yeah, so you can buy your own kitchen a cappella. I'm also gonna have a release party.
You're gonna have a release party?
I'm gonna have a release party, and then you can buy a ticket to that.
Cool.
I decided to do that because you asked me a while ago if I was gonna have a release party, and it's gonna be an online release party. So yeah,
cool. I love release parties.
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, I'll come together and celebrate a release.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So I hope you get a lot of backers and that this album becomes financed and sees the light of day.
Yeah, so do I. We can do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Prince would have wanted.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Hanna, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to talk about?
I just want to say to people, like, stay inspired and stay believing in yourselves, and that if you want to do something, you can do it. It's a cliche, but it's
true.
Yeah.
And if anything, I think from what you have told us today, that you're a living proof of that anything is possible if you just don't give up and just go your own way and don't let anyone tell you that you're wrong or you can't do what you want.
You make it sound like it's not that easy, I think. I mean, I struggle as well, and you get all these demons tell you like who are you and why are you doing this, and in Sweden we call it jante.
Yeah.
That you're not supposed to do this, and who are you to think that you can do this, and all that stuff.
Don't go around pretending you're something special, because you're not.
Exactly. And that's a Swedish way of thinking, and I'm trying to push that to the side.
Yeah.
Like, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
Just keep focus of what you want and try to go after it. And also, I just want to say thank you for letting me be here.
Oh, well, it was my pleasure. I always love talking to you, and I'm really the one who should be saying thank you to you for taking a chance on me and coming here and sharing your story with me and with everyone who's watching.
Yeah.
So thank you, Hanna.
Well, thank you, and you're very welcome.
So if people want to, if you guys want to listen more to Hanna and check her out, you should check out her Facebook page, and more importantly, join her group, Take Me to Paisley.
Yeah, that's true. I have a Facebook page, and it's Hanna Ögren. Actually, Hanna Ögren Purple Music, if you want to search for that. And my Facebook group is called Take Me to Paisley. And so you're welcome to join.
Yeah. And you should also follow her on Spotify and listen to her music there.
Exactly. It's going to be, right now there's 2 singles, and obviously the album is going to be there as well. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Hanna.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for watching and listening. I hope to see you again soon, somewhere, somehow, someday. Bye.